That embraces reason over unreasonable claims, that embraces critical thinking over baseless anecdote, and science over anti-science. We are growing, but we must keep in mind that we are a minority, underdogs in the fight for reason. Now, when my grandfather was a young man, there was no national airport. And by the way, I hope that someday soon we have renewable energy for those aircraft, either from oil-based products made from plants or from maybe hydrogen turbines made from water. I see some young people here. I want you to get on that and change the world. And if you pull it off, there's a very good chance not only will you change the world, but you'll get rich. So get out there. Now, when my grandfather was a young man, there were fewer than 1.5 billion people on Earth. When I was a kid, there were fewer than 3 billion. As I stand here before you today, there are 7.3 billion. And the overwhelming majority of these, 6 billion at least, 4 times the number of people that were in the world when my grandfather was a kid, are deeply religious. But it is no trouble to find common ground, everyone. When the environment of the earth is at stake, we can all work together. The Pope's recent encyclical stands out as a common sense assessment of our planet and its future. And as I often say, if you like to worry about things, you are living at a great time. We have suicide bombers, deadly drone missions, and now the Zika virus. It's very reasonable, by the way, that more than a few of us have been infected here today. I'm not kidding. But it's also a time in which we could be very optimistic. Reasonable studies by engineers and policy analysts have shown that there is enough renewable energy available to run all of this country, to run our neighbors to the north and south, and even the entire world, if we just decided to do it, to go renewable with existing technologies. The sources of energy would be wind, concentrated solar, photovoltaic electricity, with some thermal and tidal thrown in. And the big potential source of energy here in the Eastern time zone, by the way, is wind off of our East Coast. We could do it if we just decided to get her done. And for those of you who may be very skeptical of this claim, I give you this critically thought-through example. Both of my parents were in World War II. Their ashes are interred across the river in Arlington National Cemetery, side by side. My father was a prisoner of war, captured very early in the war from Wake Island in 1941 by the Japanese military. My mother, who was very good at puzzles, I'll give you that, was recruited to work on the notorious Enigma code. I had nothing to do with it. They were both part of what came to be called the Greatest Generation. They did not set out to be part of the Greatest Generation. They did not set out to be great. They played the hand they were dealt. And in 5 years, they resolved a global crisis. So must we. We must employ critical thinking and our powers of reason to recognize the problems of global climate change, to play the hand we are being dealt, and to get to work. This summer, let's all work to promote reason. Let's remind our fellow citizens that each and every vote matters. Let's acknowledge and embrace the facts of global climate change. Let's go. With critical thinking and reason, we can find common ground. We can promote policies to reduce carbon emissions. We can develop and distribute what we need to provide: clean water, reliable electricity, and access to electronic information to everyone on Earth. My friends, together, we can, dare I say it, change the world! Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.